The hate is real. They done knocked out the windows to all these Asian-owned companies in the plaza where I work. Just take a look at this shit. They've knocked out the windows to all of these places. You see that? Come on down. Come on down. Knocked out the window here. See that? They didn't mess with the black barbershop, thank God. But you have to be careful the shit you say about the black community.
I got a question for you. Do you think that this was truly vandalism, or could this be an insurance claim? Cause I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Boycott all Asian businesses. Have you lost the plot? You want to boycott all Asian businesses? What's next? I'm not going to be treated by an Asian doctor. Okay, only a doctor from the same race. Are you alright? Are you stupid? As a woman, firstly. Secondly, ethnic minorities, we've already got hard. Like, it's hard. And you want to be dividing people up. Like, it's a bit mad. I'm not going to lie to you. The fact that you're saying you wouldn't be shopping from a certain shop because of who the owner is. That's a bit mad. That's like me saying I'm not going to go to a certain chicken shop or a certain food store or get clothing from a certain brand because the owner's not South Asian. Like, what? No, that's so weird, bro. Elaine the pain. I think you got some pain in the backside. Like, it's moving a bit mad.
Bruh, I fucking called it. I told you so. I called that shit weeks ago. I told you that Asian motherfuckers were going to start destroying their businesses and blaming the black community. And now it's happened. I've just seen a couple videos that are making their rounds of storefronts with the windows and stuff being broken out of, and clearly they're blaming the black community. And these are all happening in different states across the country, but they all have one thing in common. They have no recordings of the incidents whatsoever. In this technological age, not one of those establishments had any video whatsoever of their place being vandalized. Funny, isn't it? Nobody wants to believe that Asians would do this and go this route. Just like nobody wanted to believe that that Asian dude would burn a fucking cross. But he did. I didn't hear any backlash from that for real. We don't need to torch and burn businesses and vandalize businesses because pulling our money out and watching you fail is way more fucking satisfying. Nice try though. What else you got?
I knew at some point within this Asian boycott that something is going to happen to the Asian stores, probably something like vandalizing or which we've just seen. And guess what? They are just going to accuse black people. Now, insider information is even confirming that some of these Asian stores were actually destroyed because they did not want to actually continue the business as a result of the fact that the boycott is working and they're losing revenues and they can't continue. Another inside source, to be honest, this has not been confirmed. Another inside source says that maybe they are doing it to make people feel like black. What's the point? They are doing this just to make people feel like blacks are actually vandalizing their business. Meanwhile, they are the ones doing it, right? So that they should call for sympathy. Now, this clips you're about to watch expose the truth about what is happening in the black boycott, what's happening, and why blacks are actually boycotting Asian businesses. Also, I'll be showing you with evidences as to why this boycott is working for blacks. Now, my question for you today is, if you have a business, can you kindly drop it in the comment section? This, my friends, is the time for that black dollar to remain within our cycle. Drop it in the comment section and let's make that happen. In the meantime, let's watch these evidences I compiled for you guys today.
So the Asian community is apparently spreading lies that, since we said we boycotting their businesses, that we said we're going to loot and burn down their stores. And I just want to go ahead and get ahead of this lie. You're not going to find no video where we said no shit like that. Just, you doing all that because we don't want to give you our money. The only reason they are spreading these lies and these rumors is because they are about to damage and burn their own stores so that they can file an insurance claim, and then they're going to turn around and blame us. Because, they ain't going to just sit there and let their company go out of business and file for bankruptcy and blah, blah, blah. They want to get a payout. They want an insurance payout. So they already just spreading this lie around so they can go ahead and damage and burn their own stores and then commit insurance fraud. Because we have not said that at all. We have no intentions on doing that. I've even seen a video of one of them posted with a brick down there on the ground and nothing else looked touched in the restaurant. You did that shit yourself. They're already getting started. And so the insurance company better do their due diligence and investigation and lock their fucking asses up. Because we ain't said a damn thing about that. Quit lying. And that's even a furthermore reason why we shouldn't take our ass in your business ever again.
Lord knows I love my people, but oh my goodness.
Ain't no black people do that. Black people did not do this.
I saw a video where an Asian content creator challenges the black community to boycott Asian businesses because without their services, apparently we'd be lost because they mass produce and counterfeit everything, but all the things he mentioned, they did not invent. I think that he fails to realize that the hype around items and making things culturally relevant, that's us. We're the blueprint. We are also the bag. The black dollar represents $1.6 trillion in spending with our silly selves. So while it's not okay to go on social media and create a racial divide, it opens up some conversations about how we should be recycling our own dollars. If y'all want to tag some black hair companies where the manufacturing or is not out of China, maybe it's out of India. If you guys want to tag some Latino and black nail techs, black owned businesses in terms of clothing where the manufacturer is not done in China, that would be great because I'm a part of a group on Facebook called Black Dollar Connect. You guys want to check that out if you're in the Indianapolis area. And it's about services and recycling the black dollar. Maybe that's things that we need to consider. He probably is sparking a conversation that needs to be had, however, ill his intent was. So everyone have a great day and recycle those black dollars.
All right. First of all, I don't even think this guy's black, and I don't even think he experiences what black people of color do experience on the real time. I'm going to prove it to you. Now, we're just using a case that caused this Asian boycott to trend, the Rick Charles case. Now, I don't know if he knows about the story. I don't know if he's just talking because he wants to support Asians or he's so stupid. Because think about it for a second. This kid did not cause any violence, but he was pupiled and they didn't find him guilty. Or let me even still ask this question. He can't even relate to us because you've not walked into an Asian store and you've racially profiled. You've literally not walked into an Asian store and they start talking their foreign language and giving you some kind of side looks. Have you? I guess you haven't. Probably you haven't. And to come to think of it, we're not talking about doctors here. We're talking about specific businesses who directly racially profile black people. Examples of these businesses are nail salons, laundries, what's that? It's losing my head. Shops, medical pedicures. Those ones really, to be honest, profile black people. And of course, I said this and I've said it over and over. I'm actually using a MacBook right here, and some people are going to tell me, oh, it's produced in Asia. It's produced in Asia. Of course, it's produced in Asia, but it's owned by an American company. Come to think of it. You tell me I'm using my Samsung phone. Of course, I'm using my Samsung phone. But I'm not talking about those companies. I'm talking about the ones who interact with us back to back on a daily. Look, this is quite simple, right? The truth is this. You cannot treat black people who invited you into their neighborhoods. Look, we're not... If this guy thinks it's okay with it, tell them to go actually open up their own businesses in their own neighborhoods and see what's gonna happen. Tell him. The problem is that most of these people just come online and spill nonsense without understanding context of what is actually happening. But it even gets worse because it's going to explain everything that's been happening right now.
People are calling the boycott of Asian businesses collective punishment. I can see why they think that, but for me personally, I'm holding off on that assessment. You need to realize this is a very natural response in my personal opinion, and it's very mild in the sense that I'm seeing people bring up collective punishment in the sense like, oh, people saw one thing and then they took it out through violence. They rioted through the streets and attacked their businesses. This is purely just a boycott. This is people choosing not to spend their money at certain businesses. All right. This is perfectly within legal limits. Okay. Another point I want to bring up is even without an organized boycott, people already made up their minds when they saw on the news that another kid has been killed by an Asian business owner. Let's say there is a restaurant franchise. One location accidentally food poisons their clientele and news spreads around. And people around the United States decide to avoid that franchise altogether. Is that collective punishment? I don't really think so. All right. I think collective punishment in this situation would be if people across the United States decides to burn down every single franchise they can find, despite that one specific location being the one at fault. I think you can just argue that this is poor marketing from Asian business owners, all right? The fact that there's already a record of Asian business owners killing black kids, that's horrible marketing. Why would, just think about it for a moment. Do you think the black community would have somewhat concerns shopping at Asian businesses knowing that there's a record of Asian business owners killing black kids? Think about that for a moment. I feel like, again, that's why I feel like this is a natural response. This is a natural response to a kid getting killed. People are going to call this pandering. They're going to call me performative, even call me a traitor. And I understand where they're coming from, but for something like this, I like to try to not have as much ego as possible, because just think about it like this. Let's say there is no boycott. Let's say people react as if nothing happened after this kid tragically died. What type of accountability would you see from the Asian community? What type of action would you see from the Asian community? And I think that is a brutal question, because I worry there won't be any accountability at all.
My grandma always used to say, people always think the grass is greener on the other side, but you still got to water that shit. And every time I see certain conversations online, I always think about that. I'm seeing some folks say black people shouldn't be boycotting Asian businesses. Y'all gonna see what happened to y'all. And I'm like, what happened to y'all? What happened to us? What happened to y'all? That's the part that always kind of gets me, right? If black people don't matter, if the black dollar ain't valuable, if black people are doing too much, then stop taking our money. It's really that simple. Go on and get all them other dollars. Open your stores exclusively in communities where you feel like people don't complain, don't protest, and they don't speak up. Since we're such a burden, go and see how much it works out for you. The irony is black people have spent generations fighting for equality, not just for black people, but for everybody. And now a lot of people that benefited from the fight that black people did, they want to say, just be quiet and shut up. But if it wasn't for us, there'd be no you. And now some of the people who benefited from black folks opening those doors act like black people don't bring nothing to the table. And that's why I don't get offended anymore. If you truly believe black people have no value, stand on business. Stop taking the black dollar. Stop opening businesses in black neighborhoods. Stop marketing to black consumers. And this let us know when that little experiment works out. Because see, my grandmama also taught me something else. Folks don't appreciate water until the well runs dry.
There was always something unsettling, going into a black beauty supply store, looking for a lock cap, which I wear in a lot of my videos, and seeing an Asian guy behind the counter just hounding me the whole time, right? Just eyeing me like a hawk, making sure I don't steal anything or something. And disclaimer, this is not all Asian people. I hate that I have to do disclaimers in every video, but unfortunately people just, they're going to be like, what, you think all Asians are like that? Relax yourself, bro. But there was something odd about going to what is supposed to be a black space and seeing a non-black person monitoring. I'm just like, what? And not every interaction we had was negative, right? Sometimes it was positive, but there were times when you could tell that this person was actively uncomfortable being there, which I found weird. It's like, why do you have a business in a black neighborhood if you're uncomfortable around black people? Why have a business where a lot of your clientele are black people if you're uncomfortable with black people, right? That's something I never understood growing up. And I understand a bit of the history of why this came to be, but it's like, at some point, why did you not just go and get an Asian beauty supply store and get your own clientele if you're this uncomfortable around black people, right? If you're worried about black people stealing, it's like, why continue to do this? That's the part that didn't make sense to me. So when people are saying boycott Asian businesses, it has nothing to do with hate for Asian people. It's just, well, why would I want to go shop somewhere where the owner is uncomfortable with me being there? It's like...
Okay, So this is exactly what I'm saying. There's no incidence of one video where it shows a black man probably vandalizing. But guess what? All eyes are looking at us. And he used the example of the guy who burned the cross. Imagine doing such a thing. Imagine. The first thought is, this is staged by blacks. This is done by blacks. It's always us that are being accused. But that Asian guy who came online and made the claims he's daring black people, was it out of a fluke? Was it a joke? Of course it wasn't. And this vandalizing I'm seeing everywhere, I'm pretty much sure black people will be pointed. Black people will be like, they'll accuse black people of actually doing such. But guess what? There is no evidence, my friends. There is no evidence. And this is what I don't like. They always just think it's us over and over again. Well, let's watch.
So I'm driving home from the beach trying to mind my business and scroll. And I just keep seeing all these videos where all these other people are inserting themselves and trying to define our cause. Like, as far as I know within our community, our cause is about people of other nationalities setting up businesses in our communities, treating us like bottom feeders while they feed off of us in our community and our dollar and treat us like disrespectfully. Taking the lives of our children is not okay. So now this attack globally where everybody's coming for our don't bite Chinese, it's crazy. What is wrong with people? Ask yourself, what has a black American ever done to you? I can tell you, we can show you what they just did to us. Why the hell is everybody else the fuck upset? It's crazy and it needs to stop. Y'all need to calm down. And I feel like it's the meddlers who do all the damage to starting these little conversations. Well, what about this and what about that? And y'all just jump right on board with the ones y'all should be watching. It's insanity. Like, think about the history of America and who's done the damage and who has not. God.
Obviously, the issue of Asian American owned businesses operating in black communities is a huge source of tension because it is part of the daily violence faced by black people in their own communities when they are disrespected as customers, to the literal physical violence, as was the case of the salon in Brooklyn, where a black woman was locked into the salon by workers while they beat her with broomsticks, to the damage done to the psyches of particularly black children when they are accused of shoplifting. And this isn't a topic that I'm going to be able to cover in one video, but it is a conversation that I do want to start. I think that if you ask some people what was the source of the tension, they'll say the LA riots and what happened in Koreatown, but you cannot mention the LA riots without recognizing the unaliving of Latasha Harlins the year before. A 15-year-old girl who was unalived by an Asian shop owner who thought that she was shoplifting orange juice, but the money to pay for the orange juice was in her hand when she was unalived. To overlook that is to value profit and property over black bodies, which is at the root of the United States systemically racist system and capitalism. But I think that we have to go all the way back to the Civil Rights Amendment of 1964 and then the opening of Asian immigration in 1965. So in 1964, white power structure almost faced accountability to black people. Black people should have started to be able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities. But instead, in 1965, the United States opened the door to Asian immigration, and redlining meant that Asian Americans were receiving business loans, but only to open businesses in black communities, and black people were still not receiving loans to open businesses in their own communities. So where you have this weaponized positionality of Asian Americans being put in black people's way, of course you are going to have resentment not only over the supplanted opportunity to open businesses in their communities, but also over the fact that the black dollar is now being paid out twice. Once when the customer pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian business owner removes that wealth from the black community. And I frequently heard the tension being framed as mutual misunderstanding, where these Asian shop owners didn't know about the civil rights struggles of Black people, and Black people were not familiar with the culture of Asian business owners. But I don't think that it can be framed as mutual misunderstanding where there is an uneven power dynamic. You have one demographic that is the business owners, and you have the other demographic that is having to pay. So where there is uneven power, I don't think that it's accurate to frame it as mutual misunderstanding.
To the Asian community, now you understand that racists don't pay your bills. A lot of you guys are coming out and saying, why hold us accountable for one person? No, it's not just that. We have been facing racism from the Asian community for quite some time. Even though everybody always forgive and go back to the nail salon or go back to ordering food or whatever, we have faced numerous counter with you guys. And suddenly we decided that we are going to treat you like the way you treat us. We are going to hold our money from you. I've always say racism does not pay your bills, so stop being racist. If you know that you have a couple people out here that have businesses and you are out here taking it lightly and not trying to support others and try to disrespect people and trying to do whatever you can, there's countless of time that I have been discriminated against within the Asian community, even though we don't come out and say something, but there are people Black people that actually go through it. It just shouldn't have to take a life for you guys to understand that we are serious. You understand me? It's been countless of time where we have been facing discrimination from the Asian community, and we still love you guys. We still support you guys. We still showed up. But this time, what we are saying, this young man lost his life behind something silly. A mother lose a son lost his life. He was only 14 years old. And yes, some of you guys may never understand, but this is bigger. This is way bigger than everything. What we're saying, racism is what we need to stop. We need y'all to stop it. We need to go to nail salon and not have you talking about how much people are doing certain things. We need to be able to sit in the nail salon, not have you talking about us in your language, not having you yelling at us or treating us like we're not going to pay, because some of us, we're very respectful to you guys. We're very respectful to when we come in your nail salon, we make prices and we tell you, you made the prices, we come up, we agree with you. But what we notice is like you guys are being so rude. Sometimes we go to the store, you guys follow us around thinking that we're going to take something from your store. And honestly, truth be told, there's countless of people of other race who actually come and take stuff from your store, but because you guys are so busy trying to think that Black people is the only one who take things, Black people is the only one who actually are, no, you guys are wrong. And this is how we are saying to you that we are not going to take it anymore. We are not going to take it anymore. We are going to take what hurt you and we're going to use it. And what hurt you is our money. We're not going to come in your store and spend it with you. We're not going to order Chinese food. We're not going to go to the nail salon. We're not going to do any of the things. We're not ordering from your products. We're not ordering. Honestly, I'm in Brooklyn and there's a place that I'm going right there is owned by a Mexican. And I used to go. I'm not going to any of these places anymore. I'm going to shop Black-owned business. And this is what we are saying. We're saying that this community is doing us too wrong and we decided to stop. And I don't care. Enough is enough. It doesn't matter anymore. We don't want to be racist. We're not trying to be racist. It's not about racism. This is bigger than racism. It's bigger. It's about you guys keep being racist towards us and we need it to stop. We are going to stick with Black people, order from them, and go through it, because we cannot go through any more racism from you guys. It's a new year and we have to stand for something. If we don't stand for nothing, we have to stand for something. We can't have you guys always thinking that you can bully us and do all of these things and think that we're going to be okay with it, because you guys have done so much to Black people and we took it. Now it's time for us to tell you that, hey, thanks for all the time that you were disrespecting us while we were paying for you to disrespect us. Now we're up on to the next level. We're going to go support each other. What's the problem with that? Why are you guys mad? Why are you guys mad? Because we're going to support each other now? No, get together and clean up this racism from your community. That's what you guys are going to need to. Because if you come to the state like everybody else, like my parents said, bring me here. What we need to do is not discriminate. We need to get together and we need to make things happen. Not trying to discriminate against anybody, thinking that you're on the other side, thinking that you're Caucasian when you're definitely not. Have you looked in the mirror? You're not Caucasian. You are Asian and you have to respect it and own that. And then guess what? Go with the people who support you the most. Black people support you guys the most. Not white, black.
This has always been my point from the beginning of this boycott. Asians have to learn how to treat blacks. Asians have to learn about black culture. You just do not treat us like that and expect us to be okay. One group of people you don't want to mess up with is the black people. That's for a fact. You don't want to mess up with them, especially when you know you make a living out of them. I've experienced we blacks boycotting our own. There's a certain artist who came online and said something about he doesn't really care about blacks and all that. Let blacks stop streaming his song. And we did exactly that. You just don't do that to us. This is the point. I don't like the idea of the fact that they always assume we are here to cause violence. Like at the beginning of the video, they assume we are the ones responsible for vandalizing people's buildings and shops and all the likes. No, that is why the Ray Charles case got very viral, and that is why blacks are not happy. That's the truth. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you love content like this, please do also subscribe, hit this video a like, and I'll see you in another one. Bye bye.